recording now. So this will be part 2 of our conversation with J.C. Martin from Black Angel. And again, I do apologize for the sound quality. The show was originally done over at Blog Talk Radio. We cleaned it up as best we could, but like I said, Deb and I played hot potato with these sound clips for, I don't know, a while. And she sent it back to me. She's like, Jack, this is the best I could do. And it was better than anything I had done on my own, so...
Kind of hopeless.
Yeah, when you've got crap to work with, you can't exactly make it into a swan. So, without further ado, this is part 2 of our conversation with J.C. Martin from Black Angel.
The thing that blew me away is, I had seen Ike Turner play before, and I mean, they're really, really, hell of an act. Just, unbelievable live act. I would put them, probably about as a live act, probably second to the Stones. Much more exciting than seeing ZZ Top, or maybe George Thorogood is a good, live act to see. But
right.
Dire Straits and a lot of other ones. Ike and Tina was just, well, first of all, it was just pure sex, in the old Ike and Tina Turner review. And the Ikeettes were just the sexiest gals. And they had the best damn band, But
right.
I all I knew of Ike Turner was, I knew he was really great. And the thing that blew me away is I didn't know what a great piano player was. When you see him live, he can play like Jerry Lee Lewis or Little Richard. And then as a guitar player, it's like the guy could play like Hendrix. He was just fantastic. But you see that movie about What's Love Got to Do with It, And first of all, in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, they have Larry Fishburne playing Ike, and Larry Fishburne's like 6'3", 6'4", and the gal that played Tina is about 5'5" or something. So, it looks like Ike is this monster guy and Tina's this little gal. In reality, Tina's bigger than Ike. Ike's a short little guy. And
wow.
Especially with her high heels on. Ike was probably 5'5", and Tina's probably 5'4", but with her 5-inch heels on, she tower over Ike. And but as I got to know the family, Ronnie Turner, his son that played with us, he had two kids, Randy and Raquel, and Randy was in the 8th grade then, and Raquel was maybe about the 4th grade. And
right.
Mike would always have them down to his ranch and always buying them clothes. And Ike and Tina, they had 4 kids. They had Ronnie and they had Ike Jr. And then Tina had another child before she was married to Ike. And the only one they had together was Ron. And Ike had 2 sons before he married Tina, and she
right.
had 1 son. And I'm trying to think of that one son's name. I think his name was Glenn. But anytime any of the boys had drug problems when they were adults and so forth, Ike was the one that would, go down and get them and put them into rehab and pay for everything. And my favorite story ever that Randy and Raquel, Ike Turner's grandchildren, told me was, we were practicing one day, and they were just talking about how the weekend before they went down to see their grandpa at his ranch in San Marcos, which is by San Diego.
Right.
And Ike's wife at that time, before he married Audrey, was a blonde singer who was in the Ikeettes. And she took Raquel out, bought her all kinds of clothes, and Ike took Randy out and bought him this cowboy outfit with a 10-gallon cowboy hat, the vest, the cowboy shirt, and the belt with a big cowboy buckle, and the jeans and chaps and cowboy boots and spurs. The whole 9 yards. Okay, and the next day they get up to go riding horses, and Ike comes out and he's got an identical outfit to what he bought for Randy, and the two of them go out riding horses. So, it's like everything I'm hearing from Ike, from the grandkids and Ronnie and everybody, And Audrey, who had toured with him for like 3 or 4 years before that, was just good, And then Tina comes into town one time, and I'm at Ronnie's house. It wasn't even a house; it was an apartment down in Studio City. It is a 2-bedroom apartment, and I'm thinking, gosh, Tina, who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, why didn't she just let her kids live in some 2-bedroom apartment, in Studio City, that's crammed with all kinds of musical instruments that his 2 children had to share a bed, an 8th grade boy and a 4th grade girl,
Right.
And Tarana, his wife, was complaining because she had asked Tina's office if they would pay for Randy to go to Notre Dame High School and Sherman Oaks Catholic High School because the public schools weren't that good, and they wouldn't do it. And Tina comes in, and she doesn't like Tarana, who had lived with Ronnie for 15 years. She was like his common-law wife. They had 2 kids together. She didn't like her, so she comes in, and she has a limo come and pick up Ronnie, and she takes him and buys him like 5 suits that are, $2,000 suits each. Just so nice. You can't believe it. She buys him a brand new Lincoln Continental, but she doesn't even see her grandkids. and she gives Ronnie a bunch of money. And then we had rehearsal about 3 days later, and he, by that time, he had wrecked the Continental, and he had blown all his money on cocaine and everything. It was all screwed up. And but it was real weird. It was like, I go, Ike Turner seems to be the really good grandperson here. Tina wouldn't even see her kids, her grandkids, because she didn't like their mother, And you think, God, you don't hear this side of the story on Oprah, really,
No.
And so we were actually planning to record with. I was trying to get Audrey to get Ike to record with us. It was before he died, but then what happened is he got back on drugs. I'm not sure if it was 3 months, 6 months, or whatever before he died. Died a year ago, December 12th.
Yeah.
And Audrey left him once he got back in the drugs because he's a totally different person on drugs.
Right.
And then so Audrey left him and filed for divorce, and then bang, next thing you know, he dies December 12th. But he was going to come in and record with us, which I would have really loved to do that, because be able to record with his son and his wife. It was really cool to have Ike Turner record. And
Okay, that's where that cuts off. I didn't realize I clipped it quite so poorly.
So sad that never happened. That would have been some awesome music.
Yeah, because Ike was a disciplinarian, and even I think even B.B. King even said Ike was one of the best band leaders out there.
Well, he was running a business.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he was doing, and he was brilliant at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so sad that this stupid movie overshadows everything he ever did.
Right.
And how real is it? I really have a hard time thinking that that's how I lived every day of his life. I don't see that.
I think it's obvious Hollywood sensationalism, but again, most people don't realize that until they most people don't realize. All they see is what's in front of them, and it's really you don't hear both sides of the story, which I think is the true tragedy.
Yeah, well, even though he did release a book, most people never even heard about it.
Mm-mm.
So even fewer read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he was stripped of so much because of that damning movie.
Mm-hmm.
The man was a musical genius, but that's not how most people remember him.
No.
But I did notice in the music world, he's very respected. I was real careful when I did the first tribute show. It was immediately after he passed away. I wanted to make sure that all of the musicians